and Canberra. Yes, Canberra, Gary Freeman, long odds-on favourites. But maybe the bookmakers may be prepared to gamble just a little bit with them, given the late withdrawal of Ricky Stewart, who was injured at training yesterday, had a fitness test just this morning, but was ruled out. So young Andrew McFadden, who was originally going to play in the under-19s, was called on just early this morning by Coach Meninga to come into the first grade. There's Ricky Stewart, in fact, just standing there in the dressing room in the blue tracksuit, just having a talk to the players. Yeah, having a steak sandwich.
I think the only thing that may go wrong with the Canberra side here today is the travelling that they've had to do. They've been to Auckland, and they've had to go to Canberra again for their only training run they've had down there. And they've had to fly to Adelaide, the pulling out of Ricky Stewart. But that man there with the #1 jersey on, Brett Mullins, I think he holds the key out in the centres with Reuben Wiki up against Williamson and Kerry.
I don't think it's any surprise that the return to form of Canberra has coincided with the return of the brilliant Brett Mullins. There's the Adelaide dressing room, and Rod Reddy has had a big job to do this week. A side that was at one stage last Friday night down by 42-0 with 10 minutes to go. It was then that a bank of lights on top of one of the grandstands went out, and when the lights were out, running into the dark, Adelaide ran in 22 points in 12 minutes, which wasn't a call for a few Adelaide fans. They should have turned the lights out from the word go. However, 42-22, but a big task for Rod Reddy to turn it around in the space of 1 week against such a brilliant outfit as the Raiders.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough for them here today, but you know, like I said, the travelling time might upset the Raiders just a fraction, but the Adelaide side, they've got to defend a lot better than they did in that first half up against Canterbury last week, as the Adelaide Rams take to the field now.
See Kevin Campion run out there. I think he was one of the players that was really missed last week. He started in such good form against Canterbury, obviously backing up with a lot of confidence after the Tri-Series. He was injured early on. I think that was certainly a big blow. Here's the Adelaide side. The most notable changes, of course, in the halves: Dean Skiffaliddi and Chris Quinn, the new halves combination. And as you mentioned, Gary, the fact that Stuart Topper is out, that's a blow to Adelaide because he leads them around the paddock.
He certainly does lead them around the paddock. And the other thing that he does contribute to this team is his kicking game. We've already mentioned that at the start of the call, that without his kicking game and general organising, not saying that Skippily can't do it, I think he just lacks a little bit more talk around. He's a better hooker than he is halfback. There's a man who have to lead by example, Alan Cann.
Alan Cann, who had a late call-up into the game when Andrew Hick was ruled out. So Alan Cann, former Brisbane Bronco, played in 2 of their premiership sides for the Broncos, and has had a slow start to this season. Gets his chance, though, called up into the starting side this afternoon. There's Kevin Campion. Been in excellent form for Adelaide and rewarded with a place in the Queensland Tri-Series side. Gerard Walters, the captain of the Adelaide Rams, so much relies on Gerard Walters, and again today, the fact that Stuart Topper is out, a lot comes back to Stuart Walters in his work out of dummy half. Now the Canberra Raiders, minus Ricky Stewart today, Andrew McFadden coming in to take his place, but a side that's absolutely chock full of brilliance, starting with the captain, Laurie Dale.
It certainly is, and you've just got to look through that back line. The most exciting player probably there, the young guy, Royston Lightning, and can't he fly? Can't score a try, it needed. The other guys, Mullins and Wiki, the centre pairing there, they have been playing tremendously throughout the last couple of weeks. We'll just go through that side. Internationals, Chock-a-Block, and the other young kid that let them play a big game today is McFadden.
So it's a side that is a combination of a lot of experienced players like Brett Mullins, but with the young players, the young up-and-comers like Royston Lightning, Luke Prudis, of course, in there, who got a call-up for the New South Wales side in the Tri-Series this year. So a side that is just starting to really hit its straps, and a Canberra in form. Well, there's virtually no side that can beat them when Canberra are really at their best, and that includes sides like the Brisbane Broncos. The Raiders in peak form are something else. So David Furner will take the kickoff for the Canberra Raiders. A fine afternoon here in Adelaide. In fact, the sun just breaking through at the moment. The breeze coming down the ground. Quite a breeze that's strong at times, and it's behind Adelaide in the first half. It's Gerard Walters able to get his pass away, and Alan Cann taking it just outside his own 20. Now this is where Adelaide have to make sure that they just use up a good set of 6 to start with, as the ball is played back by Cameron Blair. Now taken through by Mark Corbo, playing against his old club. A couple of former Canberra Raiders in the Adelaide side, Corbo, and the super substitute, Bruce Mamando, of course, who has been with Canberra for a couple of seasons. Good kick downfield, the breeze getting behind this kick and will go into touch. So that's fine work by Adelaide. That's just the start that Rod Reddy would have asked for. A good set of 6, using that breeze and driving the ball deep down inside Canberra territory. Good start by the Adelaide Rams, and Mark Corbo there just having a few words to say to his side. So good work by Adelaide to start this game, and now young Andrew McFadden will work this scrum for Canberra.
One thing that Adelaide did so well there, they controlled the ball. Last week, with the first couple of sets of 6, they made so many mistakes and found themselves on the wrong end of the scoreboard. Canberra really take the ball away from the scrum.
Royston Lightning coming in off the left wing to take the first settling tackle. Laurie Daly able to give it away then to Ken Nagus. Nagus coming into the line from fullback. They're just outside their own 20, the Canberra Raiders. Ben Kennedy, what an exciting player he is. What a great year he's had in the Telstra Cup for Canberra. And when there's been a lot of their key players have been injured, he's been one of the real shining lights, a player of the future, as is this fellow, Luke Daviker. As the ball is played, David Furner taking it just over the halfway mark, the 5th tackle. Last coming up, back into the hands of the skipper, Laurie Daly. Came off an Adelaide hand. He dived on by Adelaide. Cameron Blair to play the ball, 25 metres out from his own line. So probably you'd have to say for Adelaide, a good start. They had that good set of 6 to start with. They were able to knock down the kick of Laurie Daly, put some pressure on Laurie Daly. So that's the start that Rod Reddy would have been after.
Canberra seemed to start off a little bit slow here. I don't think Mel will be too happy. I think messages will be going out to them shortly. Adelaide coming up with a bad mistake there, when they really had Canberra going backwards in the first part of this 5 minutes opening.
Kevin Campion didn't need to push that pass. He was almost down on the ground. An impossible pass to get away. Would have been much better off to have taken the tackle. So now the chance for Canberra to attack. They're 10 metres inside Adelaide territory. Bradley Clyde to play the ball. Played back and given away by Luke Prittis. Now running it straight up the centre of the ruck goes Brett Hetherington. 32 up. Prittis into the dummy half roll. Again, switching it back towards the blind side, and Bradley Clyde running wide, then getting his pass back to Ben Kennedy. Kennedy is able to get his pass away to Royston Lightning, and Lightning goes in to score the opening try for the Canberra Raiders. Adelaide just opening up down the blind side. Bradley Clyde able to get out wide, and he's such a devastating runner when he's out wide, and then finished off by Royston Lightning, and Canberra in for an early try.
Yeah, well, McFadden throws a great cutout ball there, but great backing up there by Ben Kennedy. I think Grimley should have had Royston Lightning there, even only 3 metres out from the try line. He should have made that tackle. But the young kid at halfback put on a beautiful pass there. And once these guys make half a break, they are very, very hard to stop that close to the try line.
Royston Lightning, the try scorer. In fact, he loves Adelaide, Royston Lightning, and I'll tell you why as we watch the replay of this try with Ben Kennedy getting a lovely ball around the corner to Royston Lightning. It was here in Adelaide that Royston Lightning, who was from Ingham in North Queensland, was playing in a schoolboy carnival when he was spotted by the Canberra Raiders, offered a contract with them, then went down to Erindale College to complete his education in Canberra. So a happy hunting ground as far as Royston Lightning is concerned. Here's the kick by David Furner. No goal, but the Raiders leading by 4 points to 0 over the Adelaide Rams.
Well, that's not the start the Adelaide Rams really wanted.
Well, they've done everything right to start with in their first set of 6, and then the first set of 6 from Canberra they put pressure on, but you can't just take your eyes off the Raiders, particularly when they work wide to a player like Bradley Clyde. You just have to put him out of business.
Yeah, well, the big problem there was Campion trying to forcing the pass when there was no need to. They would have been at the other end, Adelaide, but now they find themselves behind on the scoreboard.
So Mark Corbo playing the ball just outside their own 20, Adelaide. Gerard Walters turning his pass away then to David Borton. Borton runs into the clutches of Laurie Daly, who steals the ball off him, and one-on-one, that's quite legal. Good work by Laurie Daly. Just going to sleep a little bit, David Borton. Luke Davico now 25 metres out and in centre field. And once more the chance for the Raiders as McFadden able to give his pass away then to David Furner. Furner 18 metres out from the line. Played back through Prittis. Then it comes away to McFadden. Call by Laurie Daly. Runs it to the line and gives it to Ben Kennedy. Kennedy going all the way, and he'll go in and score. Good work by Ben Kennedy. Terrific work, though, by Laurie Daly. It was Laurie Daly who stole the ball initially, and then Daly, isn't he devastating when he runs into the line, and Ben Kennedy running off him, able to score try number 2 for the Raiders.
This is all just happening too quick. Laurie Daly going to the line, but an easy tackle there, missed by Wrigley, I think it was. Or it might be Chris Quinn, I'm sorry. Chris Quinn, I think, comes up with a missed tackle, but again, just running players into holes, just pushes them out of the way, says, see you later. That was actually Campion. Campion missing the tackle, making a mistake from previous, resulting in Canberra getting the try, and then Campion coming up with a bad miss there on Ben Kennedy. Well,
Ben Kennedy, the try scorer for Canberra, comes originally from Casino up in northern New South Wales. It was a star rugby union player at Joey's in Sydney before he was purchased by the Canberra Raiders, and what a goodbye he's been. David Furner almost used the same mound of sand as he had for the first kick a few moments ago, and he learnt by his mistakes, because this one he's potted. And so the Raiders get away to a lead of 10 points to nil after only 7 minutes.
Yeah, going back to the stride. Dave Borton, who ran the ball up, got it stolen off. Again, the ball stolen by Daly, and that really resulted in Canberra going to the right-hand side one more time, and then just using the ball out wide. Adelaide using the slide defence, and really they've got to go forward and take the man for the ball.
So Adelaide now really with their backs to the wall. Kerrod Walters says he'll do a little bit himself. Running from dummy half, the customary trademark of his. Tackled by Brett Hetherington. So they're only 8 metres inside their own half as Alan Can. The keg on legs, gets to 10 metres inside Canberra's territory before he's tackled. Plays the ball, bad pass, but it did come off a Canberra player. Now the referee indicates as such. 6 tackles to go for Adelaide. So now the chance for Adelaide to show what they can do in attack as Mark Corvo looks to turn it and does so. Back to David Borton. Borton running to the blind side, is able to get his pass back. Williamson will play the ball. Played back and given infield. It comes away from Keary. Then flicked back on the inside. Rod Mabon trying to work his way up the centre of the ruck is tackle. 18 metres out from the line, Kerrod Walters works it back on the short side to Mark Corbo. Corbo able to unload his pass to Luke Williamson. The youngster plays the ball through Kerrod Walters, then run across field by Skipperliddy onto Kevin Campion. Campion looking to get his arms free, couldn't do so. Prudis made the tackle. 5 metres out, kicked through by Kerrod Walters. It's come off Canberra, it'll be dived on by Ken Nagus, and it's going to be a Raiders ball.
Yeah, not a real good option there by Walters, kicking out the dummy half area. The players were spread out on the left-hand side. Canberra were a little bit short. Should have gone to one pass wide and then put the kick in.
Kevin Campion just limping away from that tackle, got his foot caught underneath a tackled player. And Campion, who suffered a similar injury last week that put him out of the game early. There he is, Kevin Campion, just trying to run that injury out.
I think what you'll find if he comes off, Mamande looks like he's warming up on the sideline now to come onto the field for Campion.
So the Canberra Raiders leading by 10 points to nil. Back to Laurie Daly. Daly using the kick, driving it down behind Danny Grimley. Picks it up just out from his own line, Grimley. He has Mabon with him. Elects to take the tackle of McFadden. So just getting outside their own 20, the Adelaide Rams. Michael Maguire to play the ball. Rod Mabon again into dummy half.
See Ben Kennedy just come off the field and Dave Wesley's gone on to take his place.
Ben Kennedy just received a knock a few moments ago after having scored that try, but he looks to be okay, just taken to the sideline. Rod Mabon trying to slip his way through. Can't get past Bradley Clyde. Not many do. Bruce Mamando. Mamando turning it back inside to Chris Quinn. Quinn is 10 inside Adelaide's half. Now spun across field through Skipperliddy to Alan Kerr. Kerrod Walters looking for the runner. It's Luke Williamson. Williamson really wasn't expecting that ball. He thought it would go to someone else before he got it, and then he puts in a kick which is far too deep. Rees getting behind that ball. Just a little bit of lack of coordination there. I don't think Williamson expected that he was going to be first receiver.
Well, I think that's where Stuart Topper comes in so much with this side here. You see the ball going to Williams. Like you said, John, he wasn't expecting the ball. Skipper Lenny's got to take control of that ruck area. That's what Topper does when he does play for them. He'll control that area, get a better kicking game in, and they'll play a lot better the Adelaide side.
So a penalty being called by Stephen Clark. As we look at the possession, it's been all Canberra. 62 to 38. The time in their own half tells the tale, doesn't it? Adelaide been inside their own half for 63% of the game. So the high tackle by Mark Corvo brings the penalty to Canberra.
He'll be certainly trying to impress today as Mark Corvo come from Canberra last year, same as Bruce Mamando. They'll be out there trying to do their best, try and get the side fired up.
Back down the blind side, Royston Lightning. Lightning trying to break his way through. He's held onto by Chris Quinn, but they're only 22 metres out. Given away by Pritis, then it goes away through McFadden. Once more on to Daly. Daly trying to burst through the middle of the ruck. Held onto in the tackle of Corvo. A quick play the ball to McFadden, then to Pritis. Great tackle though by Bruce Mamando, ball and all. Came out of the line quickly and he had to, Mamando. Now across field to Hetherington. Hetherington only 8 metres out. Ball to be played. Into dummy half goes McFadden. Works it on the short side to Laurie Daly, on to David Furner. Furner 5 metres from the line. The last is coming up for the Raiders. Now slung back across field to Laurie Daly. He'll use the kick. Waiting for it, Royston Lightning. Goes over his head, over everyone's head, out on the full.
John, you've got me. You've got me. It was just too hard to follow there. Yeah, the kick there by Laurie Daly just going too far over the top of everybody and going out. Laurie Daly putting just a little bit too much effort in here for the kick. And the boys just really waiting for the kick. Grimley did the right thing there. Royston Lightning had caught that ball. He would have taken him straight over the side.
Of course, it was on the final tackle. The ball having gone out on the full brought the changeover where the ball was kicked from, and that was across the other side of the field. The reason for the restart right over there is Rod Mabon gets 30 metres out from his own line. Canberra leading Adelaide by 10 points to 0. Mark Corvo trying to break the tackle of Brett Hetherington. Luke Domingo comes in to help him.
Just a bit of a welcome there just for young Corvo. So welcome back.
Bruce Mamando does well to unload his pass. She's an improved player, Bruce Mamando. Dean Skipperlitty playing the ball through Kerrod Walters and the penalty. Steve Clark penalising the defence.
Tell you what, just watching the tackle here, Skipperlitty is lucky the penalty doesn't go against him. He really does put the ball straight on top of the player. He realises, hey, the referee might just actually turn this around and penalise me. It goes to the side of the player.
Didn't move, okay?
Stephen Clark penalising Brett Hetherington, saying he didn't make any attempt to move away. So the tap free taken by Adelaide. Kevin Campion giving it back to Chris Quinn. Quinn trying to chop through the middle. Saw a gap that closed very quickly on him, and he was put to ground by David Furner. This is Cameron Blair. Blair runs into a fairly high tackle. That was David Wesley who made it. The referee plays the advantage and play on. Rod Mabon 10 metres out from the line. Through Kevin Campion. Then away to Skipperlitty. Cameron Blair. Blair to Corvo. Corvo with a half gap to run through. Mark Corvo, he'd love to score a try against his former side. He's only 3 metres out, and a penalty. He moved off the mark. Penalty against the attacking player.
Be a little bit disappointed with that was called. They did a great run there. Pritis hanging on, but Laurie Daly had to come in and make the covering tackle to get him on the ground. Just watch it here. Gets up. Oh, just pushing forward.
Yeah.
That's a little bit hard.
Yeah, he had players on top of him, but I suppose he was trying to make a welter of it and just get that extra metre or two, and has moved off the mark. And Stephen Clark has penalised him, so a chance gone begging for Adelaide. Canberra leading by 10 points to 0.
Well, they do so many good things, Adelaide, but then they give away silly penalties like that, and results are back in their own half.
Ben Kennedy back on the field playing the ball, but he's still limping, Ben Kennedy, in back play as Ruben Wiki goes into to dummy half. Hasn't had much to do so far in this game, Ruben Wiki.
Well, you wouldn't want Ruben Wiki to go back in the dummy half. He really gave McFadden a bad ball.
Playing well, McFadden down the touchline. Now, Royston Lightning was taken out of play in back play, but McFadden's not going to need Royston Lightning. He'll go all the way himself and score. Ricky Stewart might be playing today, but this kid is having an absolute blinder. Andrew McFadden, the try scorer, try number 3 for the Canberra Raiders.
Well, I've just said Ruben Wiki's thrown an absolute shocking pass here. What happens here, the Adelaide side have moved up, but they forgot about the blind side here. He darts, he weaves, he throws dummies. Oh, bad miss there. And Rob Maben's the only Adelaide player coming across in cover. That's a great try by the young kid. Like you said, a poor pass here by, again, Wiki. I couldn't believe it. He's turned this from nothing into a sensational try there.
Wonderful try by Andrew McFadden. At first, he probably thought, well, I can just simply draw the fullback Rod Mabon in cover and give a pass to Royston Lightning. Lightning, though, was pulled back in back play by Danny Grimley, but McFadden then realised, well, I don't need anybody. Well, and away he goes to score. Andrew McFadden was supposed to have been playing under 19s today, got the call-up only this morning from coach Mel Meninga, and what a game he's having.
He hasn't let him down, that's for sure. Oh, what a great try by the young kid there.
Well, had a terrific game for Canberra against Cronulla just a fortnight ago. He is another young Canberra Raider of the future. David Furner, they're making it tough for David Furner. 3 kicks from out wide.
Well, that's just lucky for Adelaide too. They are out wide.
Falls short, and it was wide anyway by David Furner. So 14 points to 0 it is. Canberra leading Adelaide. And Coach Rod Reddy would be thinking that it's last Friday night revisited. Remembering that his side at that stage were down 42-0 at one stage against Canterbury.
Mark Corvo really did take the dummy there off young McFadden. But as we were saying before, John, the Adelaide side went up straight, but they only went up on one side of the ruck area. That allowed young McFadden to really throw some dummies and fleet-footing stepping around the ruck area to get past.
So Adelaide just inside their own red zone. The line breaks. Canberra 4, Adelaide just the 1 break. Not only have Canberra broken the line 4 times, but they've made them pay on 3 occasions.
They've scored 3 tries out of the 4 line breaks.
Kevin Campion playing the ball. This is Mark Corvo. Gerard Walters. Almost through. Couldn't get away, though, from the eventual tackle. Kick put downfield by Luke Williamson. Now it's going to find touch.
Interesting to see if he was hit a little bit late. The tackle. Yeah, the referee saying no, he looks like it was all right to him.
Here it is again. Probably touch and go as McFadden gets him. He was probably committed to the tackle. Not much he could do about it. The touch judge and referee saw it and haven't taken any action. Luke Williamson is okay. It was a good kick, though, under the pressure from Luke Williamson, and found touch just out from the Canberra line. So this scrum 10 metres out.
It's out, it's out.
And against the feed. Scrum screwing one against the feed by Adelaide as it comes away to Chris Quinn. Quinn running it across field. Now looking for support back on the inside. They'll go in and score. Michael Maguire will get the ball down and score. Came against a scrum win against the feed. Chris Quinn, I thought for a moment he'd blown at Chris Quinn, but he must have known what he was doing. Ball Michael Maguire back on the inside, and Adelaide in for a try against the run of play.
Well, I don't think you'll see this too many times in top line rugby league. The ball coming out of the other side. Tell you what, Ricky Stewart would never lose a scrum, that's for sure. The young kid's lost, but as you said, Chris Quinn, I thought had gone too far. The cover really just went too far, and Maguire goes straight in between Laurie Daly and Kenny Nagus. Look at the big push here from the Adelaide side. Skipperletti lets the ball out quick. I thought he should have passed the ball straight away because it was 4 on 2. Just again, David Boyle coming across too far, Nagus coming too late. And Laurie Daly really couldn't do too much about it all. The second row and the lock position, they were just doing nothing. They were having a holiday for Canberra.
Here's Chris Quinn. He just went I thought he'd gone too far, but in the end he just went that extra pace, which really committed all of those 4 Raiders defenders, and was then able to turn it back for Michael Maguire to give him a clear path to the line.
The big thing there, Boyle was coming across and cover, but he'd gone too far. Left Laurie Daly nowhere to go at all.
So, a try against the run of play by Adelaide. It was interesting, you could hear Stephen Clark, the referee, yelling that the ball was out of the scrum. It didn't look to be out. As we look at the Raiders coach in the lucky sunglasses. Yes, the ball you wouldn't think was out of the scrum, but the rule says that once the ball is out behind the second rowers, it is deemed to be out of the scrum. And that's why Stephen Clark was saying it's out, and you could then play on. And the scrum went against the feed. Luke Williamson. And successful. So maybe the tonic that Adelaide really needed, even though it was a surprising try, an unexpected try with a scrum win against the feed, but they've capitalised on it, and they're back in business, Adelaide. Canberra leading by 14 points to 6.
They really did need that injection, didn't they, to get back into this game? Otherwise, it was going to be a struggle for them. And now, as we've seen the first 5 minutes of the call, they've really got to play control football, Adelaide, and try and wait for Canberra to make another mistake.
So Canberra running the ball back hard. Ball played by Ruben Wiki. David Wesley to play it. Luke Prittis just having a short run from dumbing half, again working up the blind side on the left. Prittis again making an easy 10 metres, takes it 10 inside Adelaide's half. Luke DeVico.
Steve Stone come on the field now for Cameron Blair.
Laurie Daly. Daly using the kick, not a well-placed kick though, went straight into the clutches of Danny Grimley, who in turn hands it away to Rod Mabon. Laurie Daly making up for a kick that he wouldn't have been happy with by completing the tackle. Solomon Keary playing in the centres this afternoon for Adelaide. Try scorer Michael Maguire. Alan Cann. Taken low by Luke DeVico. Steve Stone. Just coming off the interchange bench for Adelaide. This is Kevin Campion. Again, DeVico getting through a lot of work in defence. Right around the bootlaces, Luke DeVico, with 2 classic tackles in a row by him. So the kick.
That's a better line from the Adelaide side. We get down there and Chase Williamson's kick. You saw the Canberra player sprint down the line, was McFadden. I think next time he should have a look at it, Luke Williamson, and maybe run the ball.
Bradley Clyde standing, turning in the tackle, but then the ball going to be put to ground by Luke Prittis. So Adelaide forced the error that they wanted down deep inside Canberra's half.
And Kieran Walters making 2 tackles there. He made one on Bradley Clyde, let him go, then made one on Luke Prittis. Lucky to come up with a mistake there.
"30 metres out from Canberra's line. It's where the scrum is fed by Dean Skipoliti. Another try could really put them back in business. Solomon Keary to play it, 20 metres out. Down the blind side, go Adelaide. Played by Mabon. This is Dave Borton. Borton runs it hard. The defence just laid off him for a moment. He's only 5 metres out from the line. Alan Cann. Cann pushes away from Prittis. A one-handed pass came back to Kevin Campion. Unloads it to Kerrod Walters. Walters looking for a runner. It's Chris Quinn, but the moment he got it, he was caught by the defence. 10 metres out. Walters elects to go to the left-hand side to Luke Williamson. Williamson gives a pass. Now, was it touched by Canberra? It'll be a penalty.
He was offside.
Referee Stephen Clark ruling that the player was offside. The attacking player offside when he took the pass.
Kerrod Walters getting a nice long ball out wide, going to the line, which is the best thing they can do. Luke Williamson. Oh, that was a pretty hard call for the referee to penalise that player.
Canberra almost losing the ball on the first tackle. Holding on to it though. So a let-off as far as the Canberra Raiders were concerned. They're 15 on their own side of halfway. Prudis is the dummy half. All to be played by David Furner.
So Canberra's really gone into second gear. They've scored, something like 14 points very, very quickly. The forwards have got to start going forward like they did in the first 5 or 10 minutes of this game. Otherwise, Adelaide might come back at them.
Brett Hetherington unloading a good pass, which David Furner did well to take. This is Brad Clyde. Caught first by Kerrod Walters. Away through McFadden. Now on to Laurie Daly. Daly uses the kick for Ken Nagus to chase. Rod Mabon, though, positions himself very well to take that ball under pressure as Nagus makes the tackle.
He had to make some yards up there, Roddy Mabon. He was about 30 or 40 metres back and sprinted onto that ball. Great vision.
Stephen Stone running from dummy half. Tackled by Jason Burnham.
Too long. Pass too long.
Penalty against Jason Burnham, holding Steve Stone down for too long in the tackle.
A good tackle there by Jason Burnham. Both of them come over the top, Luke DeVico. He was making him a ham sandwich down there, the way he was holding him down. Might have been asking if he has 2 sugars of milk.
So the tap free will be taken by Adelaide, just 25 metres out from the Canberra line. Williamson, unable to unload his pass to Mamando, who was almost through Bruce Mamando. Now back to Mark Corbo. Corbo with a smashing run. Takes it to only 8 metres out from the line. They're playing with renewed confidence now, Adelaide. Away from Quinn to Walters, then given wide to Luke Williamson. Williamson able to get his pass away, only 5 metres out from the line. That's where the ball is quickly played back, and on the blind side it goes through Stone. Stone away once more to Williamson. Williamson still 5 metres out. Given by Keary. Now back infield. Steve Stone tackled 10 metres out from the line. The last is coming up. Again, they work it onto the short side. Little kick through into the in-goal area, taken by Canberra. Held in the in-goal, and a goal line dropout coming up.
Boyle did a great job there. That kick came straight to me. He juggled it a little bit in his hands. That was a terrific take. I think Adelaide could have come up. Only one other thing better than that is a try. Good set of 6. They'll get another set here. There's a good little kick in there. He just juggles it a fraction. Cameron Bear straight on him, and Solomon Carey too. Playing with a lot more confidence now, Adelaide.
Surprising what a try can do for you. Their heads were down when Canberra scored their 3rd try, but that try to Canberra, which was very much against the run of play, from a scrum win against the feed, and all of a sudden you can see the confidence levels just zoom.
Yeah. The big thing about it is that they're controlling the ball, taking it to one side of the ruck area, and then going wide on Canberra, catching it very short. I think a couple of times they turn the ball inside, have an inside runner, just get Canberra.
Danny Grimley running the ball back, taking it from Rod Mabon, who took the ball on the full. Mark Corbo is having a strong game. Corbo takes it back to the 20 of Canberra. Kerrod Walters just working them around the paddock. Cameron Blair trying to slip through the tackle of Brett Mullins. Eventually put to ground by McFadden. Skiffaliddy elects to go back to the blind side through Steve Stone. Stone away to Keary. He's only about 3 metres out from the line. That's where he'll play it. Played and given back across field. Rod Mabon just losing his footing as he runs into the tackle of Ben Kennedy. Again, they work it back onto that short side. Little kick into the in goal is going to be tapped over the dead ball line by Brett Mullins. And this will be another goal line dropout.
We talked about the area of the kicking game here. Skippaletti, I thought he might have struggled, but he's put in another great kick. Adelaide will get another set of 6. Terrific work.
Interesting just to look at the tackle count. We see that Canberra have had to make 103 tackles to Adelaide's 72. That is an interesting stat.
Well, this will be 18 in a row too for Canberra, so we'll see if they can hold out.
When you consider it's 3 tries to 1, 103 tackles to 72, how long can they hold out against Adelaide? Chris Quinn running it across field. They're working all of their attacking play down that left-hand side. Good tackle though made by McFadden. Michael Maguire, who was the try scorer for Canberra, gets to only 11 metres out from the line. This is Alan Cairn. Cairn crashes into the Canberra defence. 5 out is where he'll play it. Kerrod Walters The skipper Liddy back again to that short side.
Laurie read that really well too. DeVico coming up with the tackle, but they got up their line, Canberra, on that blind side.
Steve Stone running it, looking for the runner, coming straight to his right. Mavon switches it back inside to Danny Grimley. Grimley gives it to Bruce Mamando. He's over the line, but has he got it down?
Jack, he got that down. I'm pretty sure he did. I just want to check it.
The referee, Stephen Clark, thinks he got it down, but he wants Jack Danzy, the video ref, to check it. Bruce Mamando, who loves scoring tries, the big fella. And if he has got it down, Canberra find themselves behind the 8 ball. Adelaide very much back in the ball game.
Rob Maimon did a great job run right across the Royston Lightning. That is a terrific ball there by Grimley. Mamando sets his sights and says, I'm going to get this down, and does he? Oh, that's a try. That's a great ball. And his hand goes up.
Well done, Bruce Mamando. Terrific upper body strength, Bruce Mamando. He is a very, very strong man.
The big thing about that, Rod Maimon did it, executed that so well, ran across field, as we were saying, turned the ball back inside.
And
let's... Oh, we picked it. How good are we, John?
Unfortunately, it doesn't pay much on that decision. But that certainly sent the Adelaide crowd into raptures. Good work here by Steve Stone. Now, he's been brought in perhaps knowing that they needed a playmaker, and Steve Stone, who has played a lot of halfback during his days at South Sydney and, of course, in Canberra. He's a former Raider, and this was good work. Running it across field, looking for the player coming straight. It was Mabon, and then terrific work by Grimley to unload that pass to Bruce Mamando, and his strength has got him over in the tackle of Royston Lightning to score a good try.
One thing what you have to do against slide defence is make sure you send someone back on the angle. And I thought Grimley did a magnificent job, ran in between two. Wiki had gone too far. And the ever-present Mamando wouldn't be happy about that, scoring one against his old club.
Certainly would. An important kick now for Luke Williamson. He struck it well. Absolutely no mistake by the youngster. Luke Williamson, who celebrates his 19th birthday tomorrow. And the best birthday present he could get would be a win for the Adelaide Rams this afternoon.
14-12 now the scoreline, but Adelaide really controlling this ball, not giving the Canberra side any ball whatsoever. That was their 8th six of tackles. Get it out, Wiz.
Well, what a turnaround this game has seen. For a few moments, it looked as though we were in for a repeat of last week when Canterbury absolutely ran them ragged. But from 14-0 down, now to 14-12.
Kieran Walter's injured in back play there, just making that tackle. Still hasn't got back on the line. They'll have to get him replaced quickly, only down to 12 men.
Luke Prudis running it out of dummy half as Kieran Walters recovered, jogs back to join the defensive line. Here's Brad Clyde. Runs into a solid tackle, though. A tackle was made by Luke Williamson. On the last, McFadden kicks behind Grimley, and that has gone out on the full. Mistake by McFadden. He's had a terrific game, but that's a mistake by him. Putting the ball out on the full on the last, it's a changeover. And Adelaide will get the ball just 10 on their own side of halfway.
Yeah, McFadden just having too much wheat mix this morning at breakfast. And just right on the line there. So we're too far. And Grimley saying, linesman, have a look at this one.
So the ball coming up the back end, picked up, though, by Adelaide.
One thing Canberra aren't doing, they're not killing the ball now. In the first probably 10 minutes of the game they were doing that, allowing Adelaide to pop the ball. Their second phase play has been pretty good.
Kerrod Walters having a run out of dummy half. Runs into the clutches, though, of Hetherington. Steve Stone trying to get past Laurie Daly. This is Mark Corvo. Corvo looking to get his arms free to unload. Wrapped up all and all, though, by Hetherington. Now back on the blind side to Steve Stone. Stone putting the little kick in. Dived on by Canberra in the in goal. Placed by Canberra. And this again will cause a goal line dropout.
Oh, they really are attacking that right-hand side of Canberra. The left-hand side for the Adelaide side. A great little kick there by Steve Stone. David Boyle just getting to the nick of time. If you've missed that ball, Simon Carey would have scored another try for Adelaide side. And another set of 6 they got to defend for.
Oh, look at it. I'll have a look at it, brother. That's certainly not intentional if that's what's been happening. I'll have a look.
So Laurie Daly just having a word there to referee Stephen Clark as the goal line drop at will be taken. Rod Maybon able to give it back to the try scorer Bruce Mamando with a head full of steam. Mamando runs into the tackle of Hetherington, playing with a lot more confidence now. Adelaide, good offload by Alan Cairn. Kerrod Walters put to ground. Corbo taking the ball right on the advantage line. 10 metres out, Mark Corbo. Walters able to give it back now to Alan Cairn, going towards the line, only 3 metres out.
Got to go left, Adelaide.
Walters brings it to the right. Mark Corbo tried to get his way through. He's very close to scoring. Back through Walters. Walters looking for a runner, trying to burrow underneath. Held up, the referee is going to rule.
Hey, mate, again. I think it's down the line,
Video
I'm not sure.
as to whether or not the ball has been got down by Steve Stone.
He's telling us he's got it down. I've scored the try, boys. You see him go from dummy half. Kerrod Walters jumps out to the right. Little ball back inside. Steve Stone gets down nice and low, drives through. It's very hard. Have to keep going with the replay. I think he's got that ball down. I'll stick me neck on the chopping block here. I'm going to say he scores his try. Oh, have I gone too far? Have I been chopped?
If he has,
he's got the ball down.
It's just for a moment before Ken Nagus is able to lift the ball up. So Jack Danzy, the video referee, looking to see whether the ball has in fact touched the ground.
Just
may have touched just for a fraction, and that's all it needs to do.
Well, are you agreeing with me, John?
Yes, I'd give it a try. I think it probably touched at some stage. But is that what Jack Danzy thinks? And he's the only man who matters at the moment. Try it is! Well, what a game this is turning out to be. Adelaide now in front by 16-14 with a very easy kick to come.
Those players there celebrating. Corbo and Stone, ex-Canberra players. Corbo nearly scored just before that, but a great effort by Stone to get down low and drive under.
Hasn't Steve Stone made a difference since he's come off the interchange bench?
As you picked, he's come on, he's organised, he's got a couple of good little kicks in. Skipper Lee's had to do that too, but Steve Stone really is directing traffic like it should be done.
Steve Stone, the try scorer, and Luke Williamson seeing his side in front for the first time in this game. Great comeback by Adelaide, looking seemingly down and out when they were 14-0 down, having conceded 3 quick tries. But the Rams have done a wonderful job to hit the front, and now they can increase the lead to 4, 5 minutes out from half-time. Luke Williamson up and over, and Adelaide lead Canberra by 18 points to 14. Here on Fox Sports from the Adelaide Oval. What a turnaround it's been. Now, Kerrod Walters and some of the experienced players like Cameron Blair just having a talk saying, well, we might be in front, but we can't relax now. You know what a potent attacking weapon Canberra are.
Well, before the game, we saw Mal Meningi was looking a little bit nervous. So to say anything that could be getting these players now is the travel. We're going to pull something out of the books now. Mullins and Wiki, they've really got to inject themselves into this game.
10 metres, fellas.
Penalty going the way of Canberra. Could be an important penalty, this, because Laurie Daly comes up quickly to take it. Steve Clark, the referee, goes for a zipsy doodle. Penalties going Canberra's way by 4-2 as Ruben Wiki has had a pretty quiet game so far. Perhaps not his fault. Play just hasn't gone his way. But the tackle count This is a very interesting stat now. 130 tackles by the Raiders compared to 82 by the Rams. And Canberra need a try just to get their momentum back. Laurie Daly looking to run through the gap, trying to put Bradley Clyde through and almost did so. Only 25 metres out is where Luke DeVico plays the ball to Luke Prittis. Now switched back on the inside, getting it inside the 20. David Wesley to play the ball, little kick through by Prittis into the in goal. Danny Grimley watches it and shepherds it over the dead ball line. And so Adelaide bring it out to the 20 for the tap restart.
Yeah, that kick just going a little bit too far there. Prittis getting out of the dummy half area. Straight through Cameron Blair's leg. Grimley does a great job here. If the ball had stopped a little bit short, he would have been in a bit of trouble. Now the ball go over the line. Gets his side 25 metres.
Kevin Campion playing the ball. Given back by Borton to Rod Maybon. Maybon just caught in a high tackle by Luke DeVico. The referee says play on. And Adelaide take it to only 40 metres out from the Canberra line as they work down the short side. Solomon Keary to play the ball. This is Dave Borton. Gets inside Canberra's red zone and does well to unload back to Kerrod Walters, then away to Cameron Blair. Blair running across the fringe of the ruck is tackled by Jason Burnham. Last is coming up for Adelaide. Now Steve Stone puts in the little grubber kick on the last. It'll be taken by Canberra and Royston Lightning gets it just back into the field of play.
He did a magnificent job there, Royston Lightning, to get in the field of play. It was a pretty hard one to pick up off the ground. Steve Stone really going to the line and putting that kick in. Tremendous work.
Jason Burnham having a scamper and getting outside his own 20. David Boyle playing the ball on 3. Now to Brad Clyde, trying to turn in the tackle of Campion. Couldn't unload the pass.
You'll notice that Royston Lightning has gone from the left-hand wing out to the right-hand side.
Laurie Daly giving it away to Ruben Wiki. Wiki trying to call Lightning back on the inside. Has to take the tackle, though, of Keary. Laurie Daly on the last. Gave it away to McFadden. Uses the kick. Out to Danny Grimley's wing. Grimley just out from his own line.
That's a great... Sorry, Johnny, that's a great effort there by Bradley Clyde to get in the line there, chase that kick downfield, and comes up with a second tackle there too.
This is Rod Maybon. With just 1 minute remaining until the break, and Adelaide in front by 18-14 as Dave Borton takes it outside his own 20. And does well to unload his pass back to Maguire. Taken by Royston Lightning. Steve Stone. 10 short of halfway, he'll play it. Walters away to Corvo and then on to Campion. Campion gives the big no to argue to McFadden, then loses the ball though as he was put to ground and Bradley Clyde comes up with it. So 30 seconds remaining until the break. Can they get a try before the break? Luke DeVico, 30 metres out from the line. Boyle is the dummy half. Then away to Andrew McFadden. His pass goes on to Burnham, then away to Laurie Daly. Daly switches it to Ken Nagus, trying to break down the middle of the ruck. Nagus held on to 25 metres out to DeVico, then away to Laurie Daly. The skipper will lead from the front through to McFadden, then away to Bradley Clyde. Clyde caught 12 metres out. Only a couple of seconds remaining on the last. Hetherington trying to get his way over the line. David Furner comes in to add some weight. Held up. Held up over the line. The referee says we won't have a scrum. That is half-time. And Adelaide, the best comeback since Lazarus, down 14 points to 0 and go into the break leading by 18-14.
Oh, what a game of footy. And the crowd should stand up and give them a round of applause because they have come back. Unbelievable football they've played. They've really played controlled ruck area. And a big mistake there by Campion trying to force that pass resulted really in Canberra coming up the last minute drive. Mel Meninga, he doesn't look too happy. All of the boys get in the dressing rooms now. Be plenty to set at half time.
Ben Kennedy, who'd taken a knock during the first half and didn't look all that well as he was leaving the field. The Canberra Raiders thinking, well, what's gone wrong here? All of a sudden, we were cruising, 3 quick tries, 14-0 lead, and yet we go into the break down by 18 points to 14.
One of the big things is the control of the ball. Adelaide have really turned that around the first 5 minutes. It was terrible. And now, resulting in them having so much ball, Canberra have had to make something like 148 tackles to Adelaide's 108. That's a statistic that Mel would not be happy with. 2
players who've had a real influence on this game. Rod Mabon, with his brilliant attacking skills, he's done a great job at fullback, and next to him Steve Stone, who's really given an impetus to Adelaide since he came onto the field. It was just the injection from the bench that they needed. Done a super job, Steve Stone, against his old club, the Raiders.
Great ploy there by Rod Reedy to inject them into the game straight away. 15 minutes we look to the Canberra dressing rooms. They will not be too happy about the scoreline. Mel will have plenty to say. I don't know what he has to say to encourage. He needs his players to be a little bit more committed, a little bit more enthusiastic around the ruck area. And on that left-hand side, they have to move up in the defence.
So there's the Canberra room. And the Adelaide room, they'll be very happy in there, knowing that they were really looking at having a cricket score run up against them early on in the game. And no doubt they would have had thoughts of last week's game in their minds, but they really did turn it around. Super comeback by Adelaide. Coach Rod Reedy will be very happy with the performance of his side. Remembering they've only won 1 game at home, Adelaide, this year. They've done a fine job in the Telstra Cup. They've had a win and a draw at home. They've done extremely well on the road, but they're right in this game this afternoon, leading at half-time by 18 points to 14. Adelaide 18, Canberra 14, half-time here at the Adelaide Oval.
And what a great game it is, with the Raiders leading Turvey by 14 points at 15 minutes into the game. It wasn't part of their plan that they'd be trailing by 4 at half-time. It's an amazing turnaround.
Look, a great game of rugby league. Really has been a tale of 2 quarters. A couple of mistakes by Adelaide in the first 15-20 minutes. Canberra capitalised on it, but really the significant turnaround, John McCoy called it right, was when Steve Stone came on there. He actually gave the dummy half, Kerrod Wallers, a little bit of time to have a rest. I'll take it up, and they're darting quickly away from dummy half. And Rod Mabon, they're utilising the little men really well, making great yardage. And Solomon, I want to ask you, it must be similar when Duncan McRae and you've got Jason Hetherington and Craig Polamalu. There's nothing better when they shoot off from dummy half, quick play the ball, and that's when you can power them. This is what Adelaide are doing.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing better than, just after hitting it up, for the big guys, seeing a play, the short, sharper players getting in there and having a go,
But they just seem hungrier. Or there's more of a sense of urgency. Canberra just have gone to sleep for the last 20 minutes, and Adelaide, to their credit, they're just hungry, they're taking up, they're aggressive, their forwards are capitalising on that advantage line. In the last 3 minutes, it's been fantastic rugby league.
Well, you can never write Adelaide off, can you, Steve? They've beaten Cronulla and Penrith. In fact, the game against Cronulla, Wally Lewis reckons was one of the best games of rugby league he's ever seen. They played flawless football in that game for the first half. And we're seeing it again. It's the confusing change of angles that they can pull on teams.
Yeah, they're a very enthusiastic side. They're a young side. They want to try stuff. It's coming off. They're getting a good offloads away to the smaller guys like Mabon, Steve Stone. They'll be able to, broken play, they're able to get some passes away and get some guys running through some gaps.
Look, I'll tell you who they're missing in the Canberra side. They're definitely missing Ricky Stewart. McFadden's having a wonderful game. There's no doubt about that. But when they were leading 14-0, Ricky Stewart, one of his greatest assets, he keeps yapping at the forwards all the time, talking all the time. Let's not be complacent. And I really feel that they did go to sleep. On the other hand, Adelaide, they're missing Stuart Topper, but they've got a great option in Steve Stone, who's giving that option around the edge of the ruck and also quick darts from dummy half.
Well, it's been a very entertaining match so far. 6 tries in that first half. We'll roll them in for you. And the game was only 4 minutes old when Ben Kennedy gave a great pass to Royston Lightning.
32 up. Critis into the dummy half roll. Again, switching it back towards the blind side, and Bradley Clyde running wide, then getting his pass back to Ben Kennedy. Kennedy is able to get his pass away to Royston Lightning, and Lightning goes in to score the opening try for the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, well, McFadden throws a great cutout ball there, but great backing up there by Ben Kennedy. I think Grimley should have had Royston Lightning there, even only 3 metres out from the try line. He should have made that tackle. But the young kid at halfback put on a beautiful pass there, and once these guys make half a break, they are very, very hard to stop that close to the try line.
Yes, certainly. And 2 minutes later, Ben Kennedy was on the receiving end of a great pass. Laurie Daly had stolen the ball, and then a play later, he handed it beautifully to Kennedy.
Furner 18 metres out from the line, played back through Prittis, then it comes away to McFadden, call by Laurie Daly, runs it to the line and gives it to Ben Kennedy. Kennedy going all the way and he'll go in and score. Good work by Ben Kennedy.
This is all just happening too quick. Laurie Daly going to the line, but an easy tackle there, missed by Wrigley, I think it was. Or it might be Chris Quinn, I'm sorry. Chris Quinn, I think, comes up with a missed tackle, but again, just running players into holes, just pushes them out of the way, so see you later. That was actually Campion.
Andrew McFadden, the Canberra Raiders replacement halfback, might not be a Ricky Stewart, but he did have one moment of brilliance in this first half. He cleaned up a bad pass, then he cleaned up the Adelaide defence.
As Ruben Wiki goes into to dummy half. Hasn't had much to do so far in this game, Ruben Wiki.
Well, you wouldn't want Ruben Wiki to go back in the dummy half. He really gave McFadden a bad ball.
Play well, McFadden. McFadden down the touchline. Now, Royston Lightning was taken out of play and back play, but McFadden's not going to need Royston Lightning. He'll go all the way himself and score. Ricky Stewart might be playing today, but this kid is having an absolute blinder.
What happens here, the Adelaide side have moved up, but they forgot about the blind side here. He darts, he weaves, he throws dummies. Oh, bad miss there. And Rob Maben's the only Adelaide player coming across in cover.
That made it 14-0, and it looked like shut the gate, but in the 21st minute, Chris Quinn ran wide to his left wing, and then it was a change of angle inside to Michael Maguire, the replacement winger.
And against the feed, scrum screwing one against the feed by Adelaide as it comes away to Chris Quinn. Quinn running it across field, now looking for support back on the inside. They'll go in and score. Michael Maguire will get the ball down and score. Came against a scrum win against the feed.
I don't think you'll see this too many times in top-line rugby league, with the ball coming out of the other side. Tell you what, Ricky Stewart would never lose a scrum, that's for sure. The young kid's lost, but as you said, Chris Quinn, I thought had gone too far. The cover really just went too far.
You only have to give the Rams a sniff to get that competitive spirit going again. And it was 10 minutes before full time when the change of angles again did the trick. This time, Bruce Mamando scoring a controversial try.
Laurie read that really well too. DeVico coming up with the tackle, but they got off their line camera on that blind side.
Steve Stone running it, looking for the runner, coming straight. It was Rod Mavon, switches it back inside to Danny Grimley. Grimley gives it to Bruce Mamando. He's over the line, but has he got it down? Canberra find themselves behind the 8 ball. Adelaide very much back in the ball game.
Rob Maimon did a great job, run right across the Royston Lightning. That is a terrific ball there by Grimley. Mamando sets his sights and says, I'm going to get this down, and does he? Oh, that's a try. That's a great ball. And his hand goes up.
Well done, Bruce Mamando.
Yes, well done. Good decision, but I think Bruce didn't think he got it down the first time, because he did try in that rollover movement to place the ball again. If there was any doubt about this one, there was certainly some about Steve Stone's try a few minutes later.
Mark Corvo tried to get his way through. He's very close to scoring. Back through Walters. Walters looking for a runner, trying to burrow underneath. Held up. The referee is going to rule.
Hey, mate, again. I think it's down the line, I'm not sure.
As to whether or not the ball has been got down by Steve Stone.
You see him go from dummy half. Kieran Walters jumps out to the right. Little ball back inside. Steve Stone gets down nice and low, drives through. Well, it's very hard. Have to keep going with the replay. I think he's got that ball down.
I think it probably touched at some stage. But is that what Jack Danzy thinks? And he's the only man who matters at the moment. Try it is!
That made it 18-14 as we look at the halftime stats. And I think it's fair enough that in that situation you do give the benefit of the doubt to the man who's got the ball in his hand. And as we look through that, Steve, the thing that jumps out is that Canberra has done an absolutely mammoth amount of tackles.
Well, if you look at those statistics, which give you an indication of how the game is going, really that last 20 minutes, this is where Adelaide probably had 30% of the possession. Now they're up to 55 because Canberra's given them opportunities, or they've looked for it themselves. But a couple of things also you'll notice, and a couple of errors.
All right.
A couple of quick errors cost them tries early in the game.
All right, well, it'll be interesting to see whether Canberra can now get back on the front foot with this game. Let's go back to the Adelaide Oval with John McCoy.
Thanks very much, Cameron. Yes, what a great game this has turned out to be. I think most people here at the ground were starting to think when Canberra were leading by 14 points to nil as a contest, oh no, here we go last week against Canterbury revisited. But terrific turnaround, Gary Freeman.
Oh, terrific game of footy here. That opening 40 minutes was absolutely sensational stuff. And I heard Cameron Williams say he wasn't too sure if Bruce Mamando got the ball down. Let me tell you, Cameron, he got it down. No worries. The score's on the scoreboard.
So 18 points to 14 it is. Just seeing Brett Mullins there in the Canberra room. He's had a quiet game, Brett Mullins.
Really, they haven't had much ball to do anything with. You know, both centres really now.
Wiki and Mullins.
Wiki's actually gone to the right-hand side of the field. Mullins has come to the left. Adelaide now come on the field. I tell you what, they'll get a great reception here from the crowd.
Getting a good reception as Kerrod Walters brings his side out for the second half.
Let's just hope they control the ball in this opening 15 to 20 minutes of this first half, Adelaide. Otherwise, Canberra can put on tries from anywhere. It's one thing they don't want to see. Their forwards have been outstanding. Corver, what a game he's having.
Had a wonderful game. In fact, the ex-Raiders are going extremely well. I suppose there's always that incentive there when you do play against your old club. You think, well...
Oh, you've got to have a big one.
Yeah, you have. And Mark Corvo, I think, has had his best game of the season. He's really led by example from the front. He's taken it to Canberra right from the opening whistle.
Even if you look at the game last week against Canterbury, he had a terrific game there too, John. He goes forward. But the other thing, what the Adelaide side are doing so well, they're offloading the ball, and Canberra aren't putting them on the ground. Their second phase players we've seen, especially on that left-hand side, has been outstanding. But the Canberra side now ready to come out. Ricky and Mel Meninga having a bit of a chat there. There's one player that certainly is missing from the side, even though McFadden is playing exceptionally well.
If you've joined us late on Fox Sports this afternoon, Ricky Stewart not playing for Canberra. Suffered a groin injury at training yesterday, was ruled out at a fitness test this morning, and so young Andrew McFadden, who had an excellent start to the game. In fact, his first 20 minutes, he was just setting the place on fire. But then came the comeback by Adelaide, for Adelaide to be down 14-0 and to lead at half-time by 18 points to 14.
Well, I thought their kicking game, Adelaide's kicking game, would struggle today without the likes of Topper in there. But Steve Stones has come on, along with Skipper Letty, has done an extremely good job there. Skipper Letty, skip along. I'll get his name one day.
Dean Skiffoletti.
Skiffoletti. There's the man. Why doesn't he Brown or Smith or something like that? He's playing well today too, let me tell you.
From the cane farming district of Ingham up in North Queensland. Been around the ridges for a while, Dean Skiffoletti, been with a few clubs, found his niche here though with the Adelaide Rams. So the second half underway, Canberra running with the aid of this northerly breeze in the second half. Although just as I speak, that breeze seems to have dropped off somewhat. But what breeze there is will be behind the Raiders. As Canberra just work it down towards halfway. Assistant coach to Rod Reddy for the Rams. Tony Smith joins us from the sideline.
Well, Tony, Gary Freeman speaking here, mate. You must be very happy with that last probably 20 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, Gary, we played with a bit of control in the second half of that first half, but took us a while to get going there, and we didn't play with much control early, and we got punished.
Now, what are you going to have to do in the second half to keep the Raiders out there?
There's going to have to be a lot of concentration, mate. There's a lot of good players for Canberra there, and we're going to have to just keep an eye on them in this early second half.
Thanks, Tony. Tony Smith, the assistant coach to Rod Reddy for the Adelaide Rams. One player who has come onto the field for Canberra after half-time is Jason Croker. Great to see him back. Suffered an arm injury in a pre-season game. and he's a vital link for Canberra. Mr. Utility Man can play virtually anywhere in the side. He'll be a major plus for the Raiders for the rest of the season.
I think that's where you've seen all the changes in this side here.
As we see, in fact, Jason Croker went in to make that tackle wearing the number 3, Jason Croker. Craig Bellamy, the assistant coach to Mel Meninga, joins us.
Well, Craig, I think Mel will be pretty disappointed with that last 20 minutes.
Gary, obviously we got off to a flyer at the start, but the last 20-25 minutes of the second half, they really controlled possession on us. Their kicking game was much better than ours, and that's what probably turned it.
Okay, what do you got to do to turn this around the second half?
Well, we need to improve our kicking game and try and get some kicks away like the Rams did, and get a couple of double upsets hopefully. But our control was fine. We slipped off a few tackles, which was probably a little bit disappointing, but we think we're going okay. But we just need to equal possession to the Rams, and like I say, their kicking game give them more possession in the first half than ours did.
Thanks, Craig. Craig Bellamy, assistant coach to Mel Meninga for the Canberra Raiders. So it's Canberra in possession. They're 5 on their own side of halfway. Ball being played by DeVico through Luke Prittis, then away to David Furner. Furner looking for the runner, just coming right off his elbow. That was Ruben Wiki. Now through Laurie Daly and away to Nagus. Nagus stepping off the left foot, almost through the gap. Good job, though, by Luke Williamson to bring him down. Now across field to Daly, who runs it to the line and gives it to David Furner, straightening up the attack. 5 tackles gone for Canberra. They're on the last and they're 30 metres out, and it's the skipper, Laurie Daly, who calls for it and will put it high in the air out towards Michael Maguire's wing. He took it well. He took it in the field of play. Then David Boyle tried to drag him into the in goal. Referee Stephen Clark rules that he was caught in the field of play and able to play the ball.
And when that kick was put up, Solomon Carey did a magnificent job to keep Mullins out of the road here. Right on the right-hand side of your screen there, takes him right out of the play. I thought he was straight back in then.
So Adelaide just working it out of their own red zone. One of their stars, Mark Corvo, playing the ball. Just outside their own 20. Ball played back by Kevin Campion, and Kerrod Walters sneaks away to the blind side. Now the pass given back to Kevin Campion. Got it at the second attempt. They're on the last, Adelaide. Back to Williamson. Runs it before he gets his kick away. Taken by Ken Nagus, positioned himself well. The Raiders fullback. Williamson, a good chase after his own kick, and a terrific tackle by the young kid.
A great vision there too from the young bloke, really, because McFadden was flying out of the line, Clyde was flying out of the line, could have put a great kick in, a great chase.
So the Raiders, 10 inside their own half. Played by Ruben Wiki. David Furner runs it to the short side, unloaded the pass back to Prittis. Thought about throwing a flick pass, then ran himself, ran into the clutches of Kevin Campion and Cameron Blair. Laurie Daly. Daly unloads his pass to Lightning. Luke DeVico, right on the advantage line. Tough tackle, Cameron Blair. McFadden giving it away again to Laurie Daly. Daly uses the kick for Mullins. Was he onside, Brett Mullins? Up again goes Maguire to take the ball.
Well, I thought the linesman would come on the field there because Mullins was taken out of the play once again by Solomon Carey. Mullins blowing up, so have you ever look at that, linesman? What's it? The ball's kicked up by Daly. He just comes flying through. Oh, that's blatantly taken out. Oh,
just caught him with an elbow. Didn't realise he was there. Didn't see him on his blind side.
It was tackling. Very lucky that wasn't a penalty.
So the goal line dropout taken by Luke Williamson. McFadden takes it and turns it back to Brett Hetherington. Hetherington taken in the tackle of Bruce Mamang. Bradley Clyde. Clyde getting through a gap. Clyde still running, gives it away, or tries to give it away to Royston Lightning. Didn't do so. The ball went to ground. Luke Williamson picks it up, and so Adelaide have possession once more as Roddy Maybon brings it across field. Maybon looking to straighten up the attack. Terrific attack by Adelaide as David Borton has bought the ground and lost the ball. Borton looking to get a pass back on the inside to catch the defence napping, and ball going loose.
Yeah, big Bradley Clyde running across the field on the left-hand side. There must be something on the left-hand side because that's where Adelaide attacked in the first half. They get the ball away. Borton, he's just a little unlucky. Does a great run here, holds the ball, gets away from Nagus, which is pretty hard to do. It just comes up with a mistake just there on the first tackle.
So Canberra getting possession back, 10 on their own side of halfway. Error count, 5 to Adelaide, 3 to Canberra.
The one bloke who hasn't shirked his workload today is Bradley Clyde, taking the ball up there once again. Some of his other forwards have got to get there, start taking it forward for him.
Jason Croker playing the ball to Luke Prittis. Now to Hetherington. Good go forward by Brett Hetherington. Made a solid 7 or 8 metres. The hard metres up the middle of the ruck. Now they get down almost to the 20, but tackle number 5 is gone. Here's the last coming up now for the Raiders from McFadden. This is Laurie Daly. Daly this time elects to run it on the last. He'll have to push it out to the blind side to McFadden. McFadden puts a little kick ahead. It was touched by Adelaide, 6 to go. McFadden's got it back. Plays the ball quickly. They spread it out onto the left-hand side. Ruben Wiki standing looking to unload. The defence is good though. He was dragged to ground. Put over by Dean Skiffaliti. Now away to McFadden. McFadden jinx, dummies, now gives the pass. Out it comes to Laurie Daly. Daly stepping off the right foot, 5 metres out from the line. Daly to play it. Luke DeVico gives it back to Laurie Daly. Daly gives it away to Jason Croker. Terrific ball and all tackle Cameron Blair.
Great defence, Adelaide, but they've got to get off their line if they want to stop the Canberra side from scoring.
Luke DeVico, 2 metres out from the line, met by a wall of defence. He'll play it right underneath the sticks. Back it comes to the captain, Laurie Daly, then to Jason Croker. Still right on the line. 5 tackles gone. Another great tackle, Cameron Blair. Back to Daly, kicks into the in goal. It's come off an Adelaide player. Off Adelaide.
Yeah, young Maguire just touching the ball over the line there. I tell you what, their defence was outstanding in that area there, but they've got to get up the line. Laurie Daly just putting a little kick in there, comes off. I think Walters, the last second there, just tips it right over. Very, very lucky.
Good work, though, by Michael Maguire in a desperate situation to get that ball dead. But another goal line drop out to Adelaide, and you simply have to ask, how long can you keep giving the ball back to Canberra before they score a try against you? You wouldn't want to bet against them.
Well, it's a funny game of footy. They've been attacking that left-hand side the way that Adelaide did in their first half, and everything's sort of like turned around.
Luke Williamson's dropout sees Brett Hetherington running it back, and Mamando and Corbo make the tackle on him. Prudis giving it to DeVico, and they're back inside the 20 metres once more. To Luke Prudis, again given on the short side. Now to David Furner, 11 metres out. Furner to play the ball. Luke Prudis goes from dummy half and makes an easy 7 metres. 1 metre up from the line, he stopped. Now, was he called on to play it? He was. Played back to McFadden. Then it goes away to Laurie Daly. Daly tries to push them off himself, gives it back to Andrew McFadden. He gives his pass to Jason Croker, then to Ken Nagus. Nagus looking for support. Dummies runs himself. Nagus almost dragged into touch. Last coming up again for Canberra. Britt Mullins is the dummy half. From Mullins, the long pass to Croker. Croker uses the kick into the in-goal area and taken in the in-goal by Maguire on the full. It'll come back to the 20 this time for the tap restart. You have to give it to Adelaide's defence.
Yeah, it was good. I thought you were going to say how good it was, John. Well, but it was tremendous effort by Adelaide to try and kick them out there. But the other thing is that Laurie Daly wasn't in the position to receive the ball and went to the wrong man.
Well, it's a good effort to keep Canberra out for that many tackles in a row.
Oh, tremendous effort.
And the tackle count, well, it's starting to even up a little, given all those tackles that Canberra have, that Adelaide have had to make on Canberra in the last few minutes. And this tackle count also evening up. 20 to Adelaide, 17 to Canberra. But the scoreline sees Adelaide in front by 18 points to 14 here at the Adelaide Oval. Jason Croker picking up a loose ball. Croker just near halfway. Wiki is the dummy half for the Raiders.
Well, I think in this second half of footy, I think Adelaide have not finished one set of 6. That will be worrying Coach Rod Reddy. I think one player they have to get out there pretty quickly. Steve Stone has just gone out there now.
Luke DeVico, oh, he makes an easy 15 metres. Adelaide just lay back in defence. Maybe they're getting tired. They've used up so much petrol. David Boyle not able to take the pass. Ken Nagus, though, is able to pick it up on the rebound. He'll play it just outside the 20. Now across field it comes to Brett Hetherington. Steps and runs into trouble. Great hit by Mamando and Corvo. Critis gives it back to Laurie Daly. Daly uses the little kick ahead. Michael Maguire wondering what on earth have I done to deserve this treatment they're giving me, but he's held up to it very well. Across the dead ball line, it'll come back to the 20 once more for the restart.
Plenty of pressure there on the Adelaide side. Young Maguire did a magnificent job there. Laurie Daly blowing up saying, hey, he took the ball out himself. It should be a goal line dropout. See, watch the replay here just at the last second. Ooh, pretty close.
So Kerrod Walters. Now, what Adelaide need this time, as you said, Gary
They need
Freeman.
a set of 6.
A good.
You shouldn't have said it, John.
The black mock. You have put the mock on him.
There's no hand in there. It's a scrum here. Canberra feed loose.
Kerrod Walters saying, and had a little bit of assistance from Canberra. Can't con Stephen Clark.
You see him getting out there to play the ball. He just drops the ball clean. They were holding on to his legs, though, and it could have been a penalty.
Gary, let me just say, this is something I think is creeping into the game. Players are putting the ball on the ground, then getting up to their feet. What you're supposed to do is stand up with the ball.
Stand up.
Yeah. So he can only blame himself for that mistake, Kerrod Walters. Well, Bradley Clyde. Clyde runs it and he drops it. Penalty Canberra.
No, there was more than 2 in there. Stolen ball.
Good decision there by Steve Clark. Walters coming over the top, grabs the ball here, watch that, pulls it out there. Terrific decision.
Well, this makes it hard now. Laurie Daly gives it to Luke Pritis. They won't go for a goal, they want the try. Ooh. And a solid tackle made on David Wesley.
Just got to get him down. It was just a bit too high, right? Aim lower. Just aim lower.
David Borton making the high tackle on David Wesley. Laurie Daly taps it and runs himself and gets to only 3 metres out from the line. How much more pressure can Adelaide absorb? To Luke Critis, a long pass to McFadden. McFadden trying to go through the gap himself. It closes on him. Terrific defence though by Adelaide. He was dragged to ground by Stone. Now back to Ruben Wiki. Wiki with brute strength, but Adelaide hold on. Mamando gets to him, so too does Corbo. They've worked as a terrific duo, those two. Now across field once more to David Furner. Furner still 5 metres out from the line. Held on to once more in the tackle. Plays it and crossfield to McFadden. Mamando goes in again to make the tackle. 5 tackles gone again for Canberra. Call for once more by Laurie Daly. Daly throws his pass away to Brad Clyde. He'll get the pass out to Wiki. He gets over. Has he got the ball down? It's a try.
Well, there was no way that the Adelaide side could hang on in the end. And Ruben Wiki really just running straight into a gap. They were short Adelaide on that side of the right-hand side of the defence. You can see them. There's only 2 players there. Laurie Daly doing the correct thing there, running straight to the line. Great ball there by Bradley Clyde. Ruben Wiki at 100 mile an hour. You ain't going to stop him.
You certainly are not. It was a terrific ball, Bradley Clyde. Just straightening up the attack to Ruben Wiki. Running hard and straight. Very strong player is Ruben Wiki, and that's the try. It had to come.
You see Jason Croker there. He's actually holding the players up too. They didn't know whether to go in or stay out. In the end, Ruben Wiki just ran into a perfect little hole there.
Ruben Wiki, the try scorer, his 4th for the season in the Telstra Cup, levels the scores at 18-all between Canberra and Adelaide. David Furner, every kick he's had, this is the 4th, have all been from out wide. But this, a most important kick to try and put the Raiders back in front. And he's done it. Good kick, David Furner. And Canberra are back in front of Adelaide by 20 points to 18.
Well, Adelaide would like to see what the other end of the field looks like, Johnny, because they haven't been there for about the last 16 odd, 17 minutes of this game.
The thing you must wonder about Gary Freeman is how much that has really taken out of the Adelaide tank, because for the opening 16 minutes of this second half, they've been under the hammer and they've used up a lot of petrol.
But Canberra have been pretty smart too. They've taken the ball one off the ruck, gone forward, got a good kick in, and did exactly what Adelaide did in the first half.
So it's Adelaide with Cameron Blair, 30 metres out from his own line. Looking at the time spent in your own half, Adelaide have been inside their own territory for 54% of the game as opposed to Canberra's 46.
Oh, that's not a real good kick from Williamson. We give him a rap in the first half. The opening stanza in this half here, but this kicking wasn't too good then.
So Canberra with possession back. And after that zero tackle, the first is made and they're back inside Adelaide's territory by a couple of metres. And Luke Prudis made some easy metres out of dummy half. Prudis again into the dummy half roll to Bradley Clyde, and Clyde again makes another 10 metres. They're starting to look tired, Adelaide. They really will have to dig deep as Canberra go back down the short side once more, and they're only 15 metres out from the line. Jason Croker elects to run it himself a couple of metres. Kick being put ahead by Bradley Clyde. Royston Lightning trying to get to it. The referee will rule though that Adelaide got to it first at goal line dropout.
Oh, Canberra, they are on fire now in the second half. I'd like to know what Big Mel did say to them at half-time. A great little grubber kick there. Just gets the... Oh, very close. I thought he would have called for the replay for that one. Royston Lightning flying through.
On the line, fellas.
Well, referee Stephen Clark was in a very good position in the in-goal to see that. He had no doubt that Adelaide had got to it first, but Luke Williamson, as he's done for just about all of the second half, drops out from his own goal line. David Wesley running it back. 30 metres out, played to David Furner. Jason Croker. Alan Cann making the tackle. The tackle count showing that Adelaide having to make now more tackles than Canberra. And that really is starting to be a telling factor in this game as Laurie Daly running the pass across field for Ruben Wiki. Wiki trying to break through again, place the ball quickly again to Laurie Daly. Daly only a couple of metres out from the line. Back to Ruben Wiki, just 5 metres short. Last tackle coming up for Canberra. To Laurie Daly. Daly uses the kick right across towards Ken Nagus. Maguire back at the in goal, loses it. Ken Nagus will get to it. Has he touched it down? Nagus claims the try. The referee will go to the video replay.
Downward pressure, Jack.
Ken Nagus elected to yell to Laurie Daly, kick it out towards me. Maguire had it covered and then loses it.
Young Maguire's had a great game so far, but just takes his eye off the ball at the last second. I don't think that's a try. I think he's knocked on as Kenny Nagus. Hasn't really gone down, and even the hand goes only half up too. I think he gave himself up there.
Well, a very important decision, this one coming up from Jack Danzy. And a try he rules. He rules that Ken Nagus, well, you only have to get a fingernail on the ball, downward pressure, that's all you've got to do. It doesn't matter how faint it is, and Jack Danzy rules that he's got the ball down. Let's have a look at it again.
Yeah, well, I'd like to take you through this because I don't think he did get the ball down. You know, it's a hard decision. Decision's been made. The ball comes back here. Still can't tell. This front-on view might give us a better look at it, whether he gets it or not. Ball comes back. Inconclusive. Oh.
This will probably be the view that will decide for sure and for certain.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, if he only has to...
If he's just had
any form of downward pressure...
And that was a little bit there.
And there was a little bit there, so you'd have to say yes. Fair try, that's all he has to do. Important try, 24-18. Now, this is an important kick to put them more than a converted try in front. Swinging back in from David Furner, up and over. What a vital kick that is by David Furner. Canberra now in front by 8, leading by 26-18. We're midway through the second half.
We'll have to take that back. I didn't think it was a try, but just have a look at that replay once again. John, as you said, just got to get downward pressure on the ball. I think Ken Nagus exerted enough pressure there to get the try.
Well, Gary Freeman, Adelaide, it's all gone against them in the second half. They must be getting tired. They were able to dig deep in the first half. Can they do it again?
Well, you'd like to think so, but again, it comes down to controlling the ball and getting out of their half. Canberra now know that they've got them on the ropes to try and put the killer punch in.
The next try really could decide this game. If Canberra score again, you'd think they've got it.
Referee Clark saying that the Canberra side really jumped up too early in that set of 6. This will be the only time that hopefully he'll kick the ball out. We don't want to put the mocker on too early.
Well, Adelaide will have the ball in an attacking position inside Canberra's territory for just about the first time in this half.
32 minutes of footy.
What can they do with it? Here's Solomon Keary. Tackled by David Wesley. Kevin Campion.
Just got to settle things down, just keep going to the right, keep going on, get a good kick in and try and get the ball back.
Almost up to the red zone. Ball to be played by Steve Stone, but he's lost the ball and Stephen Clark rules that it was stolen from him fair and square. David Furner came up with the changeover, getting the ball, and Bradley Clyde brings it to 30 out from his own line. Jason Burnham unloading to Brett Hetherington.
A disappointment for the Adelaide side. Only their third tackle, only their first time in Canberra half. And play to make a mistake.
And the error count, 9-3, and that could have been a costly error, the one that Adelaide just made, losing the ball.
Adelaide feed loose.
Lost forward by Canberra, so Adelaide will work this scrum, and it's just inside Canberra territory.
Stephen Clark coming up the same forward pass there to Luke DeVico. He's getting a yard offside.
Let him in, Adelaide. Let him in.
Luke Prittis is getting his head into this scrum. Won by Adelaide. Solomon Keary trying to get around the defensive David Boyle. Williamson able to give his pass away to David Borton. Walters giving it then to Alan Can. Can driving straight into the centre of the ruck. Wesley again makes the tackle. 25 metres out to Kevin Campion. Campion able to turn his pass back to Williamson. He's 12 metres out from the Canberra line. To Skiffolitti, throws it in behind Borton, looking for the runners. They're only 10 metres out from the line and they desperately need a try, given by Solomon Keary. Away to Dean Skiffolitti, and on the last he uses the kick, not the best of kicks, batted back by Adelaide, still loose on the ground, picked up by Adelaide. Maguire gave it back to Rod Maybon, but they're back only 10 metres inside Canberra territory and still on the last. Kick ahead once more. Ken Nagus goes above the pack and takes it. Nagus hasn't been put to ground effectively as yet. Chris Quinn had him by the jersey and eventually held on to him.
Laurie Daly doing a great job there in protecting Kenny Nagus when that kick was put up.
Ball played by Hetherington. Flick back inside.
You see Laurie Daly there just keeping out Wrigley. To Chris Quinn that was.
Ruben Wiki to play it. Luke Prittis goes from dummy half. 3 tackles gone. Played to Wesley. Brings it down the short side. Through Furner. Furner able to get a quick pass away to David Boyle with the ball going to ground.
Off Adelaide. Can he play at it, Russell? He played at it, okay.
Oh, I don't think that he's actually played at this ball here. The great cover defence here. Skippolletti, I think he's going to pass the ball back inside. It's just come off his arm. Adelaide a little bit unlucky there. Could have had the loosened feed.
I think when you played at it, that's what we're going.
So Stephen Clark saying the touch judge had told him that the ball had been played at. And that's what will give the loose head and feed to the Canberra Raiders in a great attacking position, only 18 metres out from the Adelaide line.
Why would a player play at the ball there when he's about a yard from the sideline? Can't believe that one.
From McFadden, away to Laurie Daly. Daly steps off the left foot, Laurie Daly, and he'll go in and score, and that could be the match winner. Laurie Daly scores right underneath the post from the Canberra Raiders captain. Canberra get away to lead by 30 to 18 and a kick the cup.
Well, Laurie Daly, every time he's run with the ball today, he's created havoc around the ruck area, setting up the first try in the first half. Again, he gets the ball wide. Great pass by McFadden. Ronnie Maven comes up too quickly, but the cover, oh, please. The cover should have had him easy. See Steve Stone there off the back of the scrum. Rob Maven starts sliding. He should have gone forward first. But Mando even gets beaten pretty easy with a big right hand fed by Laurie. Holds the ball up, says, there you go, boys, 6 points on the board.
Still, they're probably not the first players to have been caught by Laurie Daly that close to the line. And let me tell you, Wiz, they won't be the last. You've been one as well. Yeah. You've given yourself up.
Oh, yeah.
Kick by David Furner is successful. Canberra lead by 32 points to 18.
Great pass there by McFadden. Laurie nice and wide of the ruck area, but the players in cover just coming across too quickly. A little bit of a step. He's pretty happy. A bit of a smile off dial there from Laurie.
Kerrod Walters looking a little unhappy. Adelaide were down by 14 points midway through the first half and came back to lead at half-time. But given that they've been under the hammer for the second half, you would doubt they'd be able to do it, but stranger things have happened. Rod Maybon, using some of his speed and attacking brilliance, he was almost past Ruben Wiki, just collared him at the last moment.
This is what they need. They need to go forward. They need guys to back each other up. Robbie Maybon making a great break, no backup.
Kevin Campion playing the ball, now away from Dean Skiffolitti. Wide, just near halfway. That's where the ball is played. Played by Dave Borton to Williamson and then away to Corvo. Takes it inside Canberra territory by a few metres, Mark Corvo. He's had an excellent game for Adelaide today. Here's Steve Stone making a half bust. Backed up brilliantly by Kerrod Walters. Taken in a fairly high tackle by Brett Mullins. Referee plays advantage and says play on. They're on the last as it comes out wide through Rod Maybon and lost, or did he get the ball down? The touch judge says he's out.
Have a look, Jack. See if he got into touch first.
Ooh. See Royston Lightning in the back there saying one of the players are down the Canberra side. Watch the replay here. I think it's Mullins.
No, he's put his foot on the touchline
And he's dropped
the ball anyway. So
he's done everything.
double whammy.
I think you'll find there's Brett Mullins down on the right-hand side, is it?
It is Brett Mullins who went in as Danny Grimley tried to get that ball down.
I think what's happened there, John, he's clashed heads. Danny Grimley.
Jack Danzy having made his decision, no try. Some concern being shown here for Brett Mullins.
Hang on, fellas, with the medicab here. It was after the 5th play of the ball, so it's a handover. In there. Dean?
So the
Dean?
mini ambulance coming onto to the field as Brett Mullins is attended to by the Canberra medical staff.
Oh, see there, Brett Mullins just clashing heads. He's asleep before he hits the ground. Worst part about it, Ruben Wiki comes over the top, plus everyone else. Royston Lightning putting his hand up early, saying, get over here quickly.
Here it is again, Danny Grimley trying to go for the line. Brett Mullins, oh, and they just clashes heads. Gets his right cheekbone crashing onto the head of Danny Grimley. And as you said, Gary Freeman, he was out before he hit the deck, Brett Mullins, but looking a little better now. He'll have a headache in the morning, poor old Brett.
Looking a little bit of that. Oh, yeah, I don't think he's in very good shape there. So the trainer's there making sure that he is all right. Get him on that little Medicare cab and get him off.
So Brett Mullins, who's had rather a dogged season as far as injury is concerned. He's taken off the Adelaide Oval. Not that Brett knows much about it, I wouldn't think, at the moment. Probably somewhat reminiscent of his Canberra ACT rugby mate, George Gregan, yesterday in that terrific Super 12 final we saw on Fox Sports, where George Gregan had a head clash with Zinzan Brook, and much the same thing happened. He was out before he hit the deck. Thank goodness for George Gregan, he was okay after the game. Let's hope the same thing happens to Brett Mullins. As Brett Mullins is taken from the field, of course that happened on the last tackle, and so it's a changeover of possession, and David Furner after that break will play the ball 10 metres out from his own line. Just waiting for referee Stephen Clark to signal time back on. As the Medicab leaves the field. 12 minutes remaining. Canberra in front by 32-18 over a courageous Adelaide, as Jason Croker will play it. Prittis gives it away to Burnham.
Cameron Blair. Cameron. Too high, mate. Right around the mouth. Get it down.
Penalty against Cameron Blair. Let's have a look at the incident again. He goes high on Jason Burnham. It's been a problem for Cameron Blair during his career. He's been guilty a few times of high tackles.
I think what he's trying to do is trying to flip the player straight over, using his own momentum to bring the player down. Time there, just getting the hand a little bit too high. It's Cameron again, try and go down the right-hand side of Adelaide.
Croker playing the ball. This is McFadden running it across field, missing out one, then attempting to link up with David Furner, who didn't expect it, and Cameron Blair comes up with the ball. This is Bruce Mamando taking it inside Canberra territory by just 1 metre. Elias Payo comes onto the field. So we have the rather rare sight at the moment for Adelaide that they have 2 test captains on the field in their ranks, because both Bruce Mamando and Elias Payo have captained Papua New Guinea in test matches. Mark Corbo.
He's played strong all day long, taking the ball forward for them. There's a little bit more backup from some of his other players.
Kerrod Walters running himself. Payo looking to link with him. It's played back now to Payo. They're on the last. This is Kurt Wrigley. Wrigley giving it away then to Mamando, puts the little kick ahead. Royston Lightning goes back for it, beats the first, beats the second, then beats Chris Quinn. Quinn comes a second time to take him. Bradley Clyde with a scamper out of dummy half. Brett Hetherington tackled by Corvo. Ken Nagus. Nagus stepping off the right foot. And Mando makes the tackle on him. 15 inside Canberra's half. Canberra leading by 32-18, but now the mistake comes. David Furner again dropping the ball. That's the second time he's done it in the space of probably about 90 seconds.
Every time David's gone to get the ball, he's come up with a mistake. He certainly won't be happy with that. That's twice in a row now that every time he's gone to catch it, he's dropped it.
In there, fellas. We're going 20.
Adelaide making 9 errors to Canberra 6.
Canberra.
Well, Canberra will work this scrum, and they really almost need to score in this set of 6 if they are to have any chance of pulling off a miracle victory, as they immediately throw it wide to Solomon Keary. Good defence, though, ridden into the deck by David Boyle.
One thing Adelaide aren't doing well, they're going wide, but someone needs to cut in the inside and run into some holes there. Otherwise, Canberra really just going to run them over the touchline.
Alias Payo. Payo loses the ball in the tackle. There were 2 in it.
Stolen ball. Yeah, go, mate, go, go.
Kerrod Walters takes the quick tap and runs.
That's one.
And he'll play the ball only 15 metres out from the line. This is Dean Skifalitti. Skifalitti turns it back to Kurt Wrigley. Wrigley across to Alias Payo. Payo gives it to Rod Mavon. Mavon was able to get around the first tackle and is caught by Nagus. Lost the ball.
He caught it.
Ken Nagus comes up with the ball. Not only made a try-saving tackle, but brought possession back to his side as well.
Stole the ball straight off Roddy Maven, who cut back inside, as we're talking about, straight up the middle of the ruck area. Just gets the ball stolen off. Great defence in Kenny Nagus. Roddy Maven here going forward. I thought he was going to score for all money. Watch this, rips it out, catches it before it goes forward. Play on, says the referee. Good decision.
Come out here. Come out here. Oh, there was an Adelaide ram up around the front. Cameron, come out here. Mate, I've just got you 2 minutes to go for the same thing. I don't think you're in a position to be judging what's high tackle and what's not. You get them down.
So the penalty goes the way of Canberra. For the Cameron Blair indiscretion. 8 minutes remaining. 32-18. Here's the tackle.
Kieran Walters is the man that does go high there. Wasn't that bad. It was a little bit high. Referee acts on it.
Got him one.
So Canberra.
Mark Corvo.
12 metres inside Adelaide territory. Through McFadden. David Wesley trying to bust his way through the tackle, plays it quickly, comes away to Burnham, then it comes on through Laurie Daly onto Furner. Furner held in the tackle of Cameron Blair. 22 metres out. Now to Laurie Daly. Daly giving it back to Luke DeVico. DeVico right on the 20-metre mark, plays the ball to Pritis, then it comes away to Laurie Daly. This is Jason Burnham. Burnham looking to pick up David Wesley. 5 tackles gone for Canberra. They can wrap it up if they can score. The last coming up. Call for by Laurie Daly. Daly using the cross-field kick right out towards Royston Lightning. Can't take it though. Held on to by Adelaide in their in-goal, and that'll bring it back to the 20 for a restart.
Oh, Wrigley did a magnificent job there, going up high. Royston Lightning flying through as Adelaide tapped the ball again. On the, here's the replay once again. Laurie Daly looking at the kick.
Chris Quinn getting underneath it and takes the ball as Royston Lightning flew through, hoping to get his second try. Good take, though, by Chris Quinn. So Adelaide back in possession, but still inside their own territory as the clock ticks away for them, trailing by 14, 6.5 minutes remaining. Steve Stone with a jinking run. Mamando giving it away to Alan Can. Can pushes over the top of McFadden. Just left him in his wake. Steamrolling him.
He's built like a little steamroller.
Yes, I would like to try and tackle him front on. Kick being put across field. Taken by Adelaide and batted back. Intended for Elias Payo. Payo can't get it. Neither can Solomon Keary, and the ball goes into touch. It was on the last, it's a changeover.
Canberra doing the right thing there, letting the Adelaide Rams catch the ball, let them make the mistake or make the tackle. That's what they tried to do there.
Luke DeVico plays the ball to Pritis, then to Bradley Clyde. Clyde heads it back towards the short side. Tackle made by Skiffaliddy. Luke DeVico.
See the position there, Adelaide only 45% and Canberra 55. Time in their own half, Adelaide 54%. Well, we could have picked that. And Canberra only 46. I think most of that was in the first half.
Ball being played. Laurie Daly again running to the line, switching it to Furner. Furner able to give his pass to Nagus, trying to bust him up the middle of the ruck. Nagus plays it 30 metres out from the line.
Hand over, fellas.
Knocked on a dummy half. Referee Stephen Clark says it was on the last. Little knock on a dummy half. Let's watch it. Luke Pritis, the dummy half.
Ooh, just a fraction.
Faintest of knock-ons, but the changeover, but immediately a penalty. Penalty has gone to Canberra, not playing it on the mark.
Stone twice on the line.
Play the ball on the line. Well, we'll get out the tape measure next time.
Go, fellas.
And Laurie Daly says, simply slow things down a little, give David Furner a shot at goal. He'll use up just as much of the clock as he can at the moment. David Furner.
Adelaide will be a little bit disappointed in this second. They played extremely well on that first 40 minutes, especially the last 20 of it. This second half has really been a turnaround. And they had no ball, had to make more tackles than anybody. See the players here looking a little bit disappointed in Steve Stone. He did control that last 20 so well.
Yes, the first 20 minutes of the second half, Canberra had all the ball. Adelaide were forced to so many goal line dropouts that really does use up all the energy. And that man having a breather and deserves it because he's been a real tower of strength for Adelaide today, Mark Corvo.
I think he's been their best player by far.
David Furner from in front and 30 metres out. No mistake from David Furner, and Adelaide now really out of the ball game. Canberra leading by 34-18 with inside 3 minutes remaining. And Canberra in no hurry to get back to restart play. David Furner, in fact, who just kicked that goal, will be called on for the restart. Taken by Luke Williamson, gives it away to Cameron Blair. Blair manhandled by Brett Hetherington. Steve Stone giving it to Michael Maguire, just sneaking through a couple of tackles. Oh, gee, I think that's a hard decision. I don't think he was held. Well, the referee may have called that he had to play the ball, but I don't think he was effectively held at any stage.
No, I don't think so.
What are you doing?
Get through the tackle of Dave Furner here. I don't think he's held there at all.
No way in the world was he effectively held. And if the referee called held, then I think he's called too early. Because there's no way that he was effectively held onto. Canberra get the penalty. This time they elect to kick for line, and they'll try their best to put a try on in the closing 2 minutes of the game. DeVico to play the ball only 5 metres out. From Prudis, away to McFadden. McFadden able just to give a short pass on to Ben Rata, who's just come onto the field for Canberra. Switch back inside to Bradley Clyde.
That's
5 metres out in centre field. From Furner, away to McFadden. Then to Jason Burnham. On to Ruben Wiki. Wiki put to ground by Solomon Geary. On the 10-metre mark, flung in field from Burnham, then away to Furner. Furner sets himself for the little kick across field. Up for it goes Michael Maguire and takes it. He's done a good job, Michael Maguire. Made just that one mistake when Canberra were able to touch down for a try, but he's had a lot of work to do out there and he's done it pretty well. So we're inside the last minute. Kurt Wrigley plays the ball. Bruce Mamando unloads a good pass. Just a short pass back to Steve Stone backing up. Skiffality quickly goes into the dummy half roll. Steve Stone giving his pass to Alan Cann. Cann loses the ball and will draw a penalty.
Back towel here, fellas.
Referee advancing the mark. As Adelaide didn't retire quickly enough as it comes to Elias Payo. Just a couple of seconds remaining. Payo gets his pass across to David Borton. Borton put to ground by Royston Lightning. And full time in what was a very entertaining game as it turned out. Canberra have won, and in the long run they've won convincingly by 34 points to 18. But I don't think really that scoreline tells the tale of this game when you consider that the Raiders in the first half scored 3 quick tries and led 14-0. Adelaide came back to lead at half-time by 18-14, and there's a good side. Brett Mullins having been taken from the field on the Medicab after that head clash with Danny Grimley, okay and smiling. But then in the second half, Canberra put all the pressure on Adelaide, who held on and on for so long, but eventually had to crack. And Canberra getting home, but they had to do it tough in the end, got home by 34 points to 18. 34 to 18, the Canberra Raiders win, makes it 6 wins in a row. Let's take you down to the sideline, and here's Gary Freeman with the Canberra captain, Laurie Daly.
Well, Laurie, 6 out of 6, mate. What's turned it around for you this season?
Oh, I think
mate, just a bit of confidence, you know, after we lost a few games. The boys didn't have confidence, but once we started to win, we knew we could play. But, yeah, it was tough early on, but we've certainly put it together at the moment.
Well, the last 20 of the first 40, they really did stick it to you, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It was just too hard getting out of your own 20 once they kicked the ball down there and they put a lot of sets of 6 on us. It was just really hard because the wind was blowing. So we knew we weren't worried too much at half-time. We knew if we'd done the same thing, that we'd make it extremely hard on them.
Ricky Stewart's replacement today, McFadden, played pretty well.
Yeah, he's played well for the last couple of times he's played, and you know, he's only 18, so he's got a big future in the game.
All right, mate, well, where do you go from now?
Well, we've got the World Club Challenge the next 3 weeks, so that's good. So we needed this win today to keep us up there, and yeah, we're looking forward to playing the English sides, and you know, I'm sure that the public will support it as well.
Okay, mate, well, look, we'll go and let yourself go enjoy it with the boys, and all the best in the World Cup Challenge.
Cheers, Wiz.
See you, matey. Bye.
Well done, Laurie Daly. 6 wins in a row to the Canberra Raiders. They are right back in the Telstra Cup. But the Adelaide Rams have lost no fans at all today. A courageous performance by them. But Canberra running out victors by 34 points to 18 over Adelaide. On behalf of Gary Freeman and all of the Fox Sports crew, I'm John McCoy bidding you good afternoon from the Adelaide Oval.
Throwing punches. Steve Waller's involved initially. Alexander really puts the game beyond doubt. You're a big man, but you're going to make the effort to go now. Fires the pass, Stelani is quick, goes for the corner, covers great. Kick in behind the line for Hoppy. He's got there. What a sensational finish to the first half. Blair spins and scores this time. But now there's open spaces, and this will be the try. Steps inside Wrigley, they'll go the length of the field and score. Oh, Wenzel, save me, you're a genius. The big tackle by Luther. Oh. 15 out, Lockyer stepping. Can he get there? Yes. There's Alexander flying from the base of the scrum. Lomax chip and chase, gets a boot to it. Pressbrook is there. Reggie Pressbrook races in. Pressbrook scores. Oh, stand up, brothers. No, in the spot. Oh, big hit by Halbono. Oh, it's taken high, Greg Alexander. To Mark Kent, who was picked up and dumped by Mark Horrow. And they got the legs to get away, you better believe it.
Mark, if you're not going to relax, somebody's going to go to the sin bin and we'll talk after 10 minutes. I don't think you want that option, do you?
This has been a Fox Sports production.
Tonight, Fox Sports, big time boxing. Taking you ringside for the biggest names and the toughest fights as they happen.
He's got to get off the ropes. Throw him out the damn ring. Good right there by Lennox Lewis. Big shot, and he will not get up. Get on! Oh, he got him! He went down!
Don't miss any of the action on Big Time Boxing. Tonight, 9:30, Fox Sports.
June. And Fox Sports is your winter action station. Rugby Union. The internationals begin. All Blacks, Pumas, Springboks and the British Lions. All live. Australia, France and State of the Union decider. International soccer. This year's #1 tournament. England, Italy, France and Brazil. Live and exclusive. Motorsport. Superbike. Live. World Motorcycle Grand Prix. All classes exclusively live. Baseball. US Major League. Live. Golf. Exclusive. Live. US PGA Tour. Basketball. NBL. Live. WNBL. Boxing. Live championship fights. Classic bouts. And tennis. The one they all want to win. Wimbledon. Complete live coverage. The hottest winter sport. See it first on Fox Sports.
The Comedy Channel's Late Shift, coming up at midnight. Conan O'Brien.
Are you ready to rock?
I thought that was a foxy bitchy girl. Oh, you! Catch the ball!
We need to suck these guts out.
Yeah, I'm hoping that way.
If you'll get naked, I'm sure that'll help us out. Robert De Niro throws like a girl. Say it.
This week, ER's Juliana Margulies, Dr. David Wright, Cortland Mead, and many more.
Well, I say go that way.
The Comedy Channel's Late Shift continues at midnight. Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Exclusively live on Fox Sports 2, a Super Sunday doubleheader. Adelaide and Canberra. The Rams need to pick up the pace against a Raiders side that are in stunning form, setting the scene for an epic battle. Then, it's Perth versus Auckland. The Reds have lost their edge recently and had to stop the slide against the Warriors, who are desperate for victory. Adelaide, Canberra, followed by Perth against Auckland. Super Sunday from 2 p.m, live on Fox Sports 2.
Mick Doohan is chasing history in round 5 of the World Motorcycle Championship. A win in Austria will make him the second greatest all-time Grand Prix winner. The Austrian Grand Prix, all classes exclusively live, 7 p.m. Sunday. Fox Sports. England, Italy, France, Brazil. 4 of the world's top soccer nations together for the tournament of '97. And it's all live and exclusive to Fox Sports. Wednesday, 4 a.m, Game 1. Hosts France play the world champions. Thursday, 4 a.m, Game 2. England out for revenge against Italy. Sunday, June 8, Game 3. It's France against England. Monday, June 9, Game 4. A rematch of the '96 World Cup final. Wednesday, June 11, Game 5. Brazil meet England. Thursday, June 12, Game 6. It's France versus Italy. 6 great games with the world's soccer stars. All live plus full repeats. The Tournament of France begins Wednesday morning, 4 a.m. Live on your action station, Fox Sports. You're watching Fox Sports.
A special Sky Sports presentation over on Sky 1. The Lions play the first match of their South African tour on Saturday. All 13 games, including the 3 tests, are part of Britain versus the world, the sporting confrontation only on Sky this summer. But right now, it's the Broncos against the Wolves, or put another way, London against Warrington in Super League. We're live and exclusive here at the Stoop. Out come Warrington, led by their captain Paul Cullen. And a match that Warrington really have to win. Just one away win all season at Castleford. One of 4 victories, but they have lost 6. Points scored 240, but points conceded 352. They have the worst defence in Super League. Top tackler, well, no wonder it's Paul Hume. And Paul Sculthorpe, their loose forward, only 19. He's the man who gets them going forward. 131 metres average per game. Out come the London Broncos. They haven't been home at the Stoop for almost a month. Last time they brushed Leeds aside. April the 27th, they won by 40 points to 16. They built a 28-0 interval lead. And Sean Edwards, who had probably his best game in Broncos colours at St Helens last week, looking in fierce mood again. Rallying the troops for the battle to come. Peter Gill, the man Steve-O has picked out as one to watch. 5 tries this year and all in front of the Sky Sports cameras. Match referee is Robert Connolly. Bob Connolly, who was in charge of the game at Wilderspool last Sunday when Warrington were hammered by the Bradford Bulls. These are troubled times for Warrington. Can they halt the Broncos here? The match is in progress. Lee Breers fields the kickoff, and that's George Mann with the first run at this London Broncos defence. Warrington in their changed jerseys of blue, black shorts, attacking from right to left as we watch. Good defence from London early on. Tony Mestrov piling in there, so too Russell Bowden. If you're with us on the World of Super League on Wednesday, you'll know that although he spells his name B-A-W-D-E-N, Russell Bowden, and there he is on the tackling, wants to be called that and not Borden. So, Steve-O, we'll do our best, eh?
Yeah, well, that was a Loden. That was a great tackle. Went very low indeed. Nice kick. You mentioned the fact that Warrington have gone through the wars, a lot of injuries. Nice thinking there by the little halfback Lee Breers.
And he's one of them who's gone through the wars.
He's playing tonight with slight injury. There was doubt about him before the game. But if he can hit top form, and if Warrington can just control things, make sure they don't make any mistakes, trying to play out their full complement of 6, they've got to be in with a chance.
Peter Gill is the man who came away from the back of the scrum. That's Tulson Tollett, who's the dummy half. And here they come forward again, the London Broncos. But that's tremendous tackling on Steve Roslin. And Kelly Shelford getting himself involved early on. But this is David Krause. David Krause is halted by a despairing tackle from George Mann, but it was effective. Beasley dummy half to Edwards. The runner, inevitably, Tony Mestrov.
Good defence by Warrington. They're moving up quickly. They have to do that throughout this game. London Broncos have got plenty of players out there that can prize open even the best of defences.
There's one of them, Edwards, and that's a hanging kick. Chris Rudd is not underneath it. The ball has bounced. It's bounced timely. And has Tollett got the touchdown? No, I don't think he has. The touch judge has signalled that the ball was dead, but Robert Connolly wisely says, let's let the video referee have a look.
Try time.
And it's a try.
But did the left hand touch the whitewash before the right hand forced the ball down. Oh, this is inches. But I think you're right, Eddie. For mine, frame by frame, the video referee will be looking at exactly the same thing as what we are. I think that's try by about a quarter of an inch. But what a great kick from Edwards, and what a great chase. I'm afraid it was a real meal by the winger Mark Forster. And the full-back, Chris Rudd, he had all the time in the world. You never let the ball bounce. It can go anywhere, and it did. The standoff, Tulson-Tullett seems to have scored the first try for mine.
Well, the Warrington side are all lined up ready to restart the match with a tap on the 20-metre line. Watch the verdict. No try. It's a 20-metre place kick. Warrington guessed right.
Well, it's obviously deemed that the left hand hit the whitewash before the full control, and a swing down there from Peter Gill. Luckily, he did not connect. Frustration showing there in the London side.
Well, that was a touch-and-go decision. I must say my first reaction was a try. The touch judge, as it turned out on this near side, read it absolutely right. And he didn't have the benefit of the slow-motion replay that we did.
Well, a bit of a let-off there because the full-back, Chris Rudd, didn't have anybody coming back with him, and really you've got to make sure that your wingers come back. Mark Forster gave him no protection, but he did allow the